Welcome back to the Rise Up podcast, where we bring you stories, ideas, and inspiration to help you push through life's challenges and become your strongest self. I'm so glad you're here with me today. In this episode, we're diving into a topic that's as relatable as it is eye-opening. How we often become our own biggest obstacles. Why do we hold ourselves back, and how can we break free from those self-imposed limits? It's time to explore the small steps, the mindset shifts, and the powerful strategies that can help us stop sabotaging ourselves and start living the lives we truly deserve. And as always, if you'd like to follow along or revisit the key points, we've got a PDF transcript of this episode ready for you. You can find it linked in the description. Perfect for anyone who prefers reading or might find it helpful to see everything written out. So, settle in, grab a cup of coffee, or get ready for that walk. Let's dive right in. You know what's crazy? Most of the time, the biggest obstacle in life isn't some external force. It's not the lack of money, resources, or even talent. It's us. Yeah, you heard me right. We are our own biggest barriers. Think about it. How many times have you known exactly what you needed to do to make your life better, but you just didn't do it? Not because you couldn't, but because something inside you just said, nah, maybe later, or what if it doesn't work out? It's like we're walking around with this little voice in our heads that finds every excuse not to act. It tells us we're too tired, too busy, we're not good enough yet. And let's not forget the classic, what if I fail? That voice can be loud. But here's the thing, it's not some external enemy, it's just your own self-doubt, dressed up in fear and hesitation. And let me tell you, that voice, it's a pro at keeping you stuck right where you are. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're intentionally trying to mess up our own lives. Most of the time, we don't even realize we're doing it. We tell ourselves, I'll start next Monday. Or, I'll wait for the perfect time. But let me tell you something about that perfect time. It doesn't exist. If you're waiting for all the stars to align, you'll be waiting forever. The truth is, we don't need perfect conditions to start. We just need to take that first step. And here's the thing. It doesn't have to be a huge step. A lot of people think success is about these big, dramatic leaps forward. But honestly, it's more about small, consistent wins. Picture this. You decide to start running. If you go out on day one and try to sprint for 5 miles, chances are you'll burn out fast, feel miserable, and maybe even give up altogether. But if you start small, like really small, you build momentum. Maybe you just jog for 5 minutes today, and tomorrow you try 6. Those small victories add up, and before you know it, you're running farther than you ever thought possible. It's the same with everything else. Want to eat healthier? Don't overhaul your entire diet overnight. Just swap out one unhealthy snack for something better. Want to learn something new? Don't dive into a 5-hour study session right away. Start with 10 minutes. Small, manageable steps. That's how you trick your brain into believing you can do it. And when your brain starts believing, your whole mindset shifts. Now let's talk about failure for a second. I know it's not the most fun topic, but it's important. Because here's the deal. Failure is a part of life. You're going to stumble, you're going to mess up. But not all failures are created equal. Some failures are like little bumps in the road. You hit them, maybe lose your balance for a second, but then you're back on track. And then there are the big failures. The kind that knock you flat on your back and make you question everything. Here's the thing about those big failures. They're dangerous. They don't just hurt your progress, they mess with your head. They can make you start believing you're not capable, that you're not cut out for success. And once you start thinking like that, it's a slippery slope. That's why you have to be strategic. Don't put yourself in situations where one misstep could completely derail you. Take calculated risks. If you're starting something new, test the waters first. Fail in ways that you can recover from. That way, when you do fall, and you will, you can get back up and try again. Speaking of trying again, have you ever noticed how we tend to avoid things that feel uncomfortable or unfamiliar? It's like our brains are hardwired to stick with what's safe and known, even if it's not what's best for us. That's why trying something new, whether it's eating a food you've never had before, traveling to a new place, or picking up a new hobby, can feel so intimidating. But here's the truth. Nothing amazing ever happens inside your comfort zone. If you want growth, if you want change, you have to get comfortable with being a little uncomfortable. Now, I get it. The unknown is scary, but here's a little trick. Start with baby steps. If you're scared of traveling alone, maybe start with a guided group tour. If reading books feels too time-consuming, set a timer for just 5 minutes a day. Whatever it is, ease into it. You'll realize pretty quickly that it's not as scary as you thought. And once you get past that initial discomfort, you'll start to see the rewards. Here's another thing I want you to think about. Success doesn't look the same for everyone. For some people, it's about climbing the career ladder or making more money. For others, it's about finding peace, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing a passion. Whatever your version of success is, own it. Don't let anyone else tell you what it should look like. And don't compare your journey to someone else's. We're all running our own races, and the only person you're competing with is yourself. So here's my challenge to you. Stop holding yourself back. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop listening to that little voice that says you're not ready. You are ready. Take that first step, no matter how small it is. Support yourself. Be your biggest cheerleader, not your harshest critic. Because when you get out of your own way, there's nothing you can't do. And you know what? It's not going to be easy. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. But every time you push through, every time you choose action over excuses, you're building a better, stronger version of yourself. So go ahead. Start now. Your future self will thank you. Thank you for joining me on the Rise Up podcast today. I hope this episode gave you a fresh perspective and maybe even a little push to take that first small step toward breaking free from what's holding you back. Remember, change doesn't have to happen all at once. It's about progress, not perfection. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to check out the PDF transcript if you want to revisit any of the ideas we talked about today. It's there for you in the description. Until next time, stay strong, keep rising, and remember, you're capable of so much more than you think. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.